All right. Hi everyone, I'm Paul. Gonna run Croc Legend of the Gobbos Remastered. So if everyone's ready, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the remaster of the original 1997 game. We're doing any percent, so we're basically just gonna get to the end of every level as fast as possible. You may have noticed that Croc can fly. That is an unintentional glitch from the original that was left in the remaster. Basically, you jump, you tail attack, and then you jump again. And it's a 3-frame window to get a hover at all. And depending on which frame you landed on, will determine how long the hover stays in the air for. With the first frame being a short hover, the middle frame being a mid hover, and the last frame being a long hover. So there's a bunch of jumps in this game where we need the frame perfect long hover to make it. And yeah, it's faster to be in the air, so I'm going to be spamming it the entire game. So jumping on that to just, instead of waiting for the platform to come down. So that's the 3rd level done, and then we're going to do a boss level. The game's basically 3 levels, a boss, 3 levels, a boss, and that's 1 world done, and then there's 4 worlds. The first world is very fast. Lots of short levels that are pretty easy. Also, right now I have 0 crystals. Crystals, or damage in this game works like it does in Sonic, with like Sonic rings. So because I have 0 right now, if I get hit by anything, I'll just die. But this boss is pretty easy, so I probably won't. It would be funny if I did, though. But yeah, generally, it's good to have at least 1 crystal, at least 1 safety crystal in case you get hit by something or fall in lava or something like that. And most of the boss fights are pretty easy in this game. This dude, you just got to run away from him for a while until he stops. And that's that boss done. Oops, that's fine. So we do a long hover here to skip climbing up the thing. Also, it's faster to move diagonal in this game, so I'm holding like up and left or up and right like the entire game, and then using the sidestep buttons in the air to turn. And so this is the remaster. The original game had tank controls, and the remaster, they added analog controls as well. The tank controls from the original are the fastest way to play this game, so I'm still using the original tank controls right now. If you're playing on controller, it's just on the D-pad, but I'm playing on keyboard, so if I want to use analog controls, I have to touch a controller, which is why I have a controller right here, because it'll be like, oops, restart. There's a handful of spots where it's slightly faster to use a controller, so that's why I have it on hand. Something new in the newest version of the remaster is they added that restart level in the pause screen. And that will restart the level with the number of lives you had when you entered it. So if you ever just die in the first room, it's better to press restart so you get your life back. The newest patch also added time trials. So you'll see at the end of every level, it pops up with the time I got. It's usually in the top left-hand corner, but I forgot to enable it. So you won't see the in-level timer. That should be fine. So now we're on to our next boss level. And I'm again going to do it without any crystals. So we just got to bait this guy into like trying to punch us. And then we can tail attack him and stomp him. And then just his moves just get progressively more. So now he goes for the smash and then the punch. And because I'm getting to the edge of the arena, I'm going to bait him one more time, and then I'm going to run past him as the second one. So you do that to bait the second one, because if we didn't do that, he'd get too close to us, we'd be stuck in the corner, and we'd just die. Nice. And now we're on to the ice levels. Restart. This room has a really fast skip in it, but it's really hard, so I'm not doing it. Pretty sure that was found by the Rixar when he just randomly decided to run this game for like a few weeks. We can skip this entire room by just going in here. The start of this next level is on ice, so we're going to jump like straight away. I missed it because the load times were slightly different. But if you jump there, you can get onto that first platform and it will be slightly faster. It's just you have to like time the jump with the load like ending. So if you're not used to the loads on the computer you're on, it'll be a bit weird. This next level is a big loop, and it's like 2 seconds faster if you do the loop backwards via a long hover here. But I missed it, so I can just restart. I think that was a mid hover. It was. All right, cool. So yeah, those long hovers are frame perfect at 30 FPS because the game still uses its original 30 FPS like game loop. With the remaster, you can render it at any frame rate. And now there's a button on this side, so we're just gonna, if I can press the button. And we have a golden key, which we're meant to use to go into a door so we can unlock a different thing, which does a different thing. But you can just skip that whole section by just dropping down, and it doesn't. It's just much faster. Alright, so now we've got another boss level. This one has a big long hover at the start, so hopefully we get it. Nope. Actually, I'm not going to restart there. That's probably a mid hover. It is a mid, yeah. Okay, that's fine. The input delay on this monitor is slightly different to what I'm used to. So this boss is pretty easy. He just like goes up and then you just like tail attack before he lands. So yeah, it's just don't die. He's meant to be like following you around and everything, but if you just stand under him, he just attacks instantly. So we're going to skip this whole room by just jumping across there. Now I'm going to get these crystals here. One as safety crystals, because in this room it's really easy to slip off these small platforms here. And also just in case. But because we also need them for the last room, because we're going to do a damage boost in the last room. So right here, you're meant to press that button on the left there, but you can just jump up the waterfall and damage boost on it, and there we go. So here we can just skip this starting section. We can slide down this. I don't know if it's faster, but you can. Gonna save this little gobbo. Every level has 6 gobbos, and if we were doing 100%, we would be saving all 6 of them in every level. But we're not, so we're only going to get the ones that are in the way. In this room, we're meant to be pushing a box on our left, but you can actually just do fancy movement there to get up instead. That movement is really hard because you need to be pointed away from the wall, but also moving forwards. So you've got to do like a weird turn in the air to get it. It's pretty easy once you get it down, but... Oops. This level is called License to Chill, which is pretty funny. You're not going to see any of the names of the levels because I skip it way too fast, but... Oops. Okay, I'm not gonna... I've got 0 lives, so I'm not gonna risk that one again. Hopefully we can just do this fast. Damn. Ledge grabs are weird in this game and don't work all the time. Especially on those platforms because they have like weird edges and like half of it you can't grab and half of it you can. But even if you're on the right spot, sometimes it doesn't work. So that's what I was meant to do. And now this part is much easier. You can just jump up like that. You're meant to press that button to make a platform here come down, but you can just do a mid-hover instead. Long hover across it or a mid-hover and you damage boost with the crystals that you got. That's the nice thing about these early levels, is if you don't make the hover like that, the hazard is a thing you can bounce on, compared to the end of the game where it's all bottomless pits and you just fall and die. With the exception of this level here, which is one where you will fall and die. So we're going to do another big long hover to skip half of this starting room. Blind through the dark. Lovely. Going to get these crystals here. So if you jump on this platform and you turn around, when the thing hits you, you'll drop your crystal behind you, and so you'll pick it up. So it doesn't matter if you get hit, because it'll just keep picking the crystal back up. Because I need the crystal for this last room. So we're going to bait him into the corner over here. And which... That's a bit weird. Okay. They went to the wrong spot. That's fine. Because you want to try and get them together. Ah, that's annoying. Can this guy... Can you look at me? Look at me, bro. Please. Okay, there we go. Yeah, ideally, when that happens, they go to the left and the right, and then they come towards you, and you hit them both at the same time. And you can just, like, chain them all. But that guy went the wrong way for some reason. You can skip getting this key by doing a really, really difficult long hover in this room here. But it is really hard, and on PC and the remaster, it only saves like 2 seconds. On the original PS1 version, it saves about 17 seconds, but that's just because it skips going into that room, which has 2 load screens, and the loads on PS1 are massive. In the original game, the PS1 version and the PC version, the runs are very, very similar, with the main difference being that on PC, the loads are almost instant, and on PS1, it has like 10 minutes worth of loads across the entire game. And the other main difference is that there's a lives glitch on the PS1 version where you can get 10 lives in the first level. So a lot of categories are a lot easier on PS1 because you have so many lives to spare. But on PC, you only have 2 lives. Gonna aim for this gap here, and we can skip waiting for the electricity. This Gobbo here, you can save him just by sticking your head into the cage. So that's a good strat for 100%. This room is dark, and you're meant to pick up those jars of light so you can see. I don't need them. I just get that one because it's in the way. Because it would normally look like this, very like dark and... Alright, so we grab that crystal there, so I only need a mid-hover to get across here. And it's important that I have 0 crystals now, because we're going to do a death abuse in this room here. So we're going to get the key, and then we're going to go back to the start. Get the key, and then here's the one controller. Lovely. I held down the analog stick there. It was slightly faster than turning around. Just gonna get this key here. in this next room, there are 3 platforms that you jump on, and it's really hard to jump on all 3 of them without ledge grabbing. So, unlucky. Hopefully we can... Nope, okay, I got one of them. That's fine. They're just placed at like just the right height where it's annoying. So this boss is underwater. Water in this game sucks, by the way. It's not very good at all. Especially on the new, like modern controls, I find it so much harder to use. But yeah, so I'm gonna again get to the right height so I can dodge waiting for that. We can dodge that guy. Now we have an underwater boss. So I'm gonna go close to him and turn around and bait him into punching. Whoops. Okay, I stuffed that up. That is fine. We can recover this. So yeah, you just want to come close to him like that so he gets baited into punching, and then you do that. With the last one, you do 2 swims downwards and he'll shoot you and it will go over your head, and then you can just swim at him and tail attack him, and he's dead. Okay, I have 2 lives, which is good. That is a restart, that's fine. When playing the game casually, this is where the game really ramps up in difficulty. So yeah, just need a mid-hover to get across this gap. Also, I didn't even mention, the edges of these lava pits, you can stand on them. It makes a lot of movement in the desert world trivial when you can just stand on the edges of all the pits. And in this room, we're going to do another death abuse, because there's a key at the very end of it, and then we'll just death abuse back to it. Which is why having 2 lives at the start of this level is important, because it gives you a good buffer. Just going to do that. And I got it. I got the I picked up the crystal as I died, so I still have the crystal, so I don't have to get a spare one, which means I can do this. There we go. So you can actually skip it. I just skipped an entire room, by the way, by just doing that. You can actually do that without a hover as well, by jumping forwards. So in this game, we have we also have hoverless variants of all of any percent and 100% if you don't enjoy spamming a frame perfect trick the entire game. So there's a whole bunch of really tight jumps that you can do without a hover. And also, because this is a remaster, a lot of the edges in these rooms are like curved when they were jagged in the original. They still have the original's hitbox. So all of these tiny platforms that I'm jumping on, they're actually smaller than they look. So they're very easy to slide off of. These ones here, they're very easy to fall off of. Going to skip pressing the button to make the platform move. I'm just going to go up here. And I have a crystal here, so I can damage boost through these. If you're ever going to take damage on something, you just have to be in the air, and Croc won't, he won't get stopped. If he's on the ground, he'll do like a big stagger animation. And then it'll eat all of your iframes while you're staggered, and then you won't be able to get across the gap. But yeah, you just take the hit while you're in the air, and then use iframes to get through the rest of it. I have 1 life here, which is a bit dodgy. I probably should have not done that, but oh well, it'll be fine, surely. So yeah, I didn't get the light thing. It's fine. You can just keep going. So dodge this guy. Go for a long hover here. Missed it. That actually sucks. Yeah, because I don't have... Yeah, I'm just going to restart. That's fine. It would have been really slow anyway, because you're meant to do a death abuse at the end of that room, and I had no lives, so I wouldn't be able to do it anyway. See, the thing is, it's really common to enter this this level with 0 lives, and then you just do a game over abuse to get all your lives back. But I had 1, so I was like, oh, I'll just risk it. It'll be fine. So yeah, dodge this guy. Surely this time we get it. Nope. Alright, I'll just do it normally. Dodge him. Dodge him. And we get that key, and then we death abuse back to the start. Some of those pipes, you can enter them by just touching the rim rather than falling the whole way in. And that's faster. So we do it on a bunch of them. Just gonna take this nice and easy so I don't accidentally die right at the end. All right, nice. So we have another boss here, but because I have 0 lives, I'm just gonna take a game over abuse and you continue with 2 lives. And then this start of this level also has 2 free lives in it. So we get to enter the last world with 4 lives, which is very good because the first level of the next world is very hard. You can get an early hit on him here if you just time it right. There we go. And we get a crystal because we're gonna stop him there. Hit him, let's grab this crystal again. He's now gonna spin at us, we wait a little bit, and then we get hit again, and then we tail attack him. Lovely. I have no idea how that boss is supposed to go. It doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, we skip waiting for the platform there by doing a long hover. And now we do another long hover, or not. That might have been a mid hover. Oh no, that's good. We're gonna hold forward into this room to land higher up. And then instead of taking these monkey bars, you can just jump on top of them. I'm just gonna wait for this platform. You can do a long hover to skip waiting for it, but I really want my lives for the next room. Because the next room has the biggest time save in the game, like the biggest long hover time save. It saves like 25 seconds, this long hover. So I really don't want to game over on it. This one right here. Lovely. Alright. Just wait for this. It doesn't matter how long we take here because we have to wait for a cycle anyway. There are crystals in one of those boxes and a gobbo in the other if you don't have crystals. Because if you fail that long hover, then there's no other place where you get crystals. So it's good to get them there. Whoops. I miscounted how many things there were. Otherwise, you get them in that box on the left, because you want crystals for this last room, so you can damage boost through this guy, and then iframe through the second guy. Because the hitboxes on those guys are really wonky. They're really hard to jump around consistently. Alright, so I'm going to grab this crystal, and we're going to do another long hover here. Or not. We're going to do a long hover here to save going up the stairs. If you see this crystal at the end is lower than the others, that's because it's the green crystal in disguise. Could do a hover onto that, another one. And then because I didn't die there, I have a crystal so I can damage boost through that. So then we can get another crystal here. Save this little guy. Oh, really? Damn. Okay, so now you get to see what it looks like when I can't damage boost through the thing, and you have to wait. Yeah. And also on these stairs, you need to stick to the left side of them because the hitbox for the other thing does extend into it. Okay, I have 2 lives, so I can go for this long hover. Or not. I'm not going to risk that again. You can just go around. But yeah, especially the end of this game, it's just long hover after long hover, and you just fall and die if you stuff them up. Yes. Sorry. I've just been talking the whole time.
We also have $50 from Bear with the Shotgun. I'll put this towards level 1 Sephiroth. We have $50 from Dave, who says, Kapow! And we also have $5 from Baffy, who says, put this towards the OOT file name Dinner.
This whole level is just a bunch of mini games that at any percent we can skip. There was that box puzzle one that we had to wait for. There's only 3 possible patterns, and I think one of them is faster than the others, but it's just random. This dude, we're gonna sacrifice him. And we want to go into this room because it has lives. Normally I wouldn't get all 4, but I had 0 lives, so just for safety. This is probably the worst level in 100% because it's just awful mini games back to back to back to back. So this is just another boss level coming up. What you do is you stand in front of this, and he'll throw a little bomb at you, and then you just have to move out of the way, and the bomb just walks towards you when he walks onto the thing and hits him. So you just want to stand as close to the thing as possible and then trick him into walking over it. There's some like crazy task strats you can do where you can make it land on the thing and bounce back instantly, but I don't think it's human viable. I haven't really looked into it. It's pretty wild. Alright, we can skip this whole room by just doing a hover there. And we're meant to go into that room ahead of us to get a key for that door there, which I need a long hover to get to. But you can actually just hover around it. And here we need a very tight mid-hover or a long hover to cross that gap. Lovely. I'm going to grab this crystal. I meant to grab one at the start of the room, but I missed it when I like skirted past. The alternative is I grab a crystal in this last box here. But it takes time to open crates, so... Because we just need a crystal so we can just damage boost through this ending right here instead of waiting for it. So this is a nice auto-scroller where we just sit here for 34 seconds or so. I forgot to put the timer in the corner because there is a skip you can do right at the end of it where if you very carefully time jumping off at about 33 seconds, but it's fine. It's like a second loss to not do it. The important thing is the next room, because there's another one of these and we can skip it. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the room, we're going to hold up and right to miss the platform, and we're just going to fall all the way and skip the whole thing. Just hold up and right. Once we skirt past that invisible wall, you just turn in the air, and you can skip that. And it saves like a minute or something like that. And that's because there's no death plane there, because you're meant to be slowly going down on that platform. But normally the game would prevent you from doing that, because when Croc leaves the ground, it starts a timer. And when that timer like exceeds, Croc dies. But because you spawned in the air, the timer never starts, so you can just keep going. This is just the last room here. A whole bunch of these bits I could be doing a little bit faster by like trying long hovers everywhere, but it's pretty hard. So this is the last level before the final boss. We're going to get these crystals here because we're going to do another damage boost in this room to skip 2 cycles. So if we do this right, land there, and we can iframe our whole way through that, and then just make that cycle. And that skips 2 whole cycles. Do a long hover here. Nope. I feel like, I'm very used to my gaming monitor at home, and I feel like a lot of these I'm trying to eyesight them, and the slight difference in input delay is just throwing me off. There's like a TAS, actually it's not, I would say it's TAS only, but Everett, one of the best players on PS1 can do it. Probably the best player in the game. Where you can jump into that door and then from the top of the door do a long hover to get to here early. But that's really hard, so... here we're going to hold up and left into this room, and we land up here, which skips this whole starting section. Because we're meant to spawn all the way down there on that thing and go all the way around and around. We're meant to go to the left here, but you can actually just wait, and this platform goes up, and so you can skip it. All right. So now we're on to the final level, Dante. And Dante has 3 phases compared to all the other bosses, but they're all pretty easy. Nice. Alright, so the first phase, he just tries to backhand you and slap the ground. But you can just dodge it. The second phase, we're going to try and do an early hit on him if we time this correctly. Nice. Okay, I got him. And now we're going to walk backwards, and if we time the hit with him hitting the wall, nice, he skips his animation. Now we're going to go to the other side of the room so he doesn't have to turn around, and we're going to jump on, just jump up here. Normally when he gets to the center, he will very slowly turn to face you, so we go to the opposite side so he doesn't have to turn. And as the last phase, it's really easy because you can just stand under him and he can't hit you. So time will be coming up in like 20 seconds. So yeah. And time. So, 33, 36 is pretty good. A few days ago, I did a 29:04. So it's a few minutes behind. I think I game overed on 3.6, so that makes sense. Yeah, if you want to get into this game, I would recommend the Remaster. It's the most accessible version of the game, and it's the fastest. So, yeah, shoutouts to the Croc Discord. Yeah, thanks for watching.
We have some amazing prizes as a part of ASO 2026. We have anyone who donates $10 or more will automatically go into the running to win one of our amazing Steam gift bundles. We have 5 different bundles to give to win, and we'd like to give a big thanks to Supergiant Games, Polygon Games, and Chaosium for providing the wonderful prizes that we have. In addition, if you are here and donate physically, we have a $50 voucher for Gelato Messina to win for those who are here in person. To donate $5 in person before 4 p.m. today. Yeah. Looks like we're ready for the next run. Zebulon, A Lost Cat by Nikasa. Take it away.